Boom, here we are, guys, and I'm always here on my YouTube channel just so I can make sure that I drop as much valuable information as possible. But before we dive a bit more deep about today's video, I'd like to take this time to thanking you guys all for becoming subscribers, because I did notice that we did jump into over that 50,000 subscribers. So 50,000 of you guys did get to become a lot like loyal watch viewers, and I was excited when I was going through the YouTube studio analytics and so on, and I saw that I've got like more than 50,000 subscribers, which did make me feel excited, because it makes me feel excited to know that people do get positive feedback from the message that I'm sending out there. It's exciting when I'm walking out in the streets and then I meet some of you guys, and you do show me some love. It feels exciting to know that I actually do give out that positive impact, because at some stage, at some point, I also needed someone that would be doing something like this so I can learn from them. But I'm glad that I can see that I'm also playing a part into other people's lives too, and at the same time I do get to learn a lot from you guys. The experiences that you guys are going through, like if you do feel like me, I honestly do feel like you more than anything else. So I'd like to thank you guys so much. So today we did have a live session with my team members, and also I did notice that I've got over 2 million views on YouTube, and not all those people have subscribed, obviously, on which I'm not too sure on why, but just make sure that you are already subscribing if you haven't and you've been watching my YouTube videos. But if you don't like it, then obviously you don't have to subscribe to it. But most importantly, guys, I did we went through the top 6 setups. So we also went through the bonus setup too. We saw beautiful setups for the week, high quality setups too. I was excited to be going through the setups with the members here, and I'll be sharing some of them with you guys. We've got Nasdaq, we've got Gemini 30, which is the DEX market. We've also got gold that I'll be sharing with you guys. So I know that you will be getting as much valuable information as you can from this video, and not only that, just make sure that you do like, and I will see you guys in a short while. Boom. But guys, I want us to actually take a look at the dollar index. Obviously, we've got the top 6 setups for the week, and let me list them out for you guys real quick. I've got Nasdaq. I've got the Gemini 30, the DEX. I love the DEX. The DEX has done so much for me. I'm not too sure if you guys saw my YouTube video, the recent one, but I was actually speaking about how indices played a part into me. So the DEX is one of those indices that actually did change everything for me compared to Nasdaq. I can see a lot of people are making a lot with Nasdaq. A lot of people are finding so much success with Nasdaq, but for me, Nasdaq isn't. It's just I wouldn't say it's not just how others it does for others. But the DEX market, it's easily understandable for me. Easy to read the movements. It's easy to just and it's exciting. It has changed so much for me. It has changed so much, and I've found, like, I don't know, 2 years of me trading. I think I've made those profits in just a few months trading just DEX. Like 2 years of the profits that I made from just trading currencies, I think I've made all those profits in just a few months of trading DEX. But not only DEX, obviously other indexes, but DEX mostly because it's the one that I have the higher win rate on. So we've got Nasdaq, we've got the DEX, we've got gold, we've got the GBP, JPY, we've got USD ZAR, obviously it's one of the most important ones. We've got Euro JPY, and I'd like us to actually take a look at US oil as a bonus setup. Nasdaq respects price action so much, it's so predictable, just like gold. Nice. I'm glad that's secret to see it that way. The most important thing for us is to understand what we are trading. So if you are, let's say, if you tell me to look at silver or platinum, I'm not gonna have much to say, and I because it's not what I'm trading. I'm not studying silver. I'm not studying platinum. I haven't even had an analysis on it and so on. So I'm not it's not like it's my field, But if you ask me to look at some of the things that I've got that I'm looking at that are under my radar, then I'll be confident to even tell you what I'm expecting in the next few months, in the next few weeks, in the next few days. What I'm planning on to do, like my plan with it. What are your top tips for trading DEX? I'm not too sure about that. Top tips. Okay, but let's just go on to it so I can refer to it. Okay, the first thing about DEX too. Okay, the first thing about it is that I even saw with the platform that I used to trade, I make more profits when I buy compared to when I sell, meaning that my buying trades are more profitable compared to my selling trades. and buying, I'd be buying aiming to make 3%, and then boom, it would shoot all the way to 6-7 percentages. That's for you guys now, because you can even see here how it's been. Let's say after this crash, this isn't, this is actually what we call a crash. Crash is something that looks like it's not a downward trend or so on. It's just a crash within the markets. But you can see shot up, young correction, shot up, correction, shot up, then a beautiful movement here, then continue to shoot up and so on. Man, impulse to the upside, a young correction here, impulse, and now we're just involved in this beautiful upward movement on which you can see when it does get here. But I'll speak a bit more about it when we do get to it. But you can see when you get here, we'll be looking at tops. Are we either going to be breaking those to the upside, or are we going to be selling? I believe that we're going to be breaking. There's so much progress, and also in advance and incoming rolls, right? So always you get. I just hope that you guys do find motivation from some of these things, to just see that it's possible to dream that way and it's possible to achieve some of the things. And also with the DEX market, guys, like one thing, sorry about that, I'm busy getting calls here because I'm using my phone to be able to read chats and also to make sure that the audio is coming in well. But one thing that I like about gold is that, not gold, with DEX, is that it has a higher chance of retesting a previous broken structure. When it does break that structure, there's a higher chance of it retesting it. So those are some of the tips that you can actually take from it, like the retesting, the upward movement compared to the downward movement. You make more money when you buy compared to when you sell. And I like the fact that, with DEX, even if you do keep on trail stopping, because the most important thing is to lock as much profits as possible. So when you keep on trail stopping, DEX, like it allows you to lock as much as possible, because it will continue shooting to the upside, man. It will continue shooting all the way to the upside. And also, one thing that I like about it is that you need to also understand what are the fundamental side of the DEX market, maybe looking at the fundamentals or the news releases. So I'm still studying on which is the most impactful news releases, like let's say compared to just like how the NFP would influence this pair more, like let's say USD CAD more compared to other pairs and so on. So I'm still also on the phase of understanding what DEX, what pair does influence the DEX market. But also the Brexit. Since it's the Germany, the Brexit, it also plays a major part. So also that you need to understand. But just by learning the fundamental side of it, then it's like once you understand the fundamental side of especially DEX, USDT, NAS 100, then you're gone, because like these investors are now putting money in this specific stock, and when that stock does rise, that it will reach certain highs. And obviously it means that buyers are winning compared to sellers. Then that you're looking for only buyers. So without even you jumping in the charts and trying to look for a buy setup, you already know that you're looking for a buy, and then you just have to look for a buy trade setup. Ne? Okay, so let's go back onto. Okay, let me just do this real quick. DXY, there we go. Okay, I'm glad that you got that, Siyabonga. But I'll just sit down and see what's actually helping me, progress a bit more better on DEX, because I'm still developing my basically, I think I could say big trading plan on the DEX market. I'm still developing that. With the dollar index, you can simply see that the market has been pushing downwards massively, like big push correction, big push correction, big push. So now you can even see what phase we are actually in. Let me just do this real quick. Okay, that lips can see what phase we are actually in right here. It's actually a corrective phase, but this corrective phase is actually showing us a bit more of a reversal. I'll show you guys why I'm saying that real quick. But on the bigger structure, on the daily structure, let me remove this so it doesn't distract us. On the daily structure, you can simply see that we've got close to being our left shoulder, our head right here, this giving us our right shoulder, our neckline right here. So basically, head and shoulders right here, break to the upside. But not only that, also on the 4 hour, you can see that it's actually giving us a young reversal pattern. And so I want us to actually confirm with this, because if it does happen to go this way, that means that we can make a lot of money buying the dollar, compared to, USD, ZAR, Nasdaq and so on. You can make a lot of money going to the upside compared to the downside, because this actually does help us be able to see what the USD is doing in general, what USD is doing, whether it's going up or down, compared to Euro USD. If this is going up, Euro USD has to keep on falling, keep on going to the downside. So that you're going to be looking for what is the market momentum there. So here we can see DEX already. We've got this. So we've got this beautiful first hammer right here. After the break of the 4 hour, we've got the hammer right on the daily. So this hammer is actually showing us that yes, it's now ready to go to the upside. But one thing that I would love to get is an engulfing, a candle that does represent a bias, and then once it does break to the upside, then I'll be glad to fully commit to my buy trade. So now we do know that we're looking for buy trades. There's a high chance of the market going to the upside, but to commit, because there's a difference, between you just committing and you just seeing that setup. To commit into that long-term long setup, it has to give you some specific things. So the daily engulfing candle would be amazing, but so far we can still take advantage of the 4 hour, the smaller time frames such as your 1 hours and so on. But let's see what we are seeing on the 4 hours. Okay, so what I have here is my beautiful descending type pattern. You can simply see that it's a channel that's descending, that's actually channeling to the downside. Normally these channels, when they do break, they have to break to the upside, and yes, it did break to the upside. Came back to retest, because if I do get to just expand this line, you can simply see that it's a retest, because first touch, second touch, third touch. First touch, second touch is here, third touches, it broke out, came back, reject with this hammer, nice hammer to the upside, a young correction. So basically this is a hammer, rejection, hammer, engulfing, correction, engulfing, correction. You can see beautiful pushes to the upside, on which they are going to be confirming our daily push to the upside, man. So also I just wanted to make my charts a bit more clean, so I removed this just so I can focus on the newest. Remember guys, the most important thing is to focus on the current price structure. It's better to focus, come up with different scenarios and so on, instead of you just looking at what price done here and then trying to predict on what's more likely to happen moving forward. Because news change, investors do change. Investors can buy, investors can sell anytime, they can buy anytime. Doesn't mean if they did buy now, they have to buy again in the near future and so on. So also I've got this line that's helping me here be able to see what's going on. First touches here, second touches right here. So also for me to change my whole scenario on buying and so on, I would see price breaking these areas. Now if price closes anywhere below these areas, like if prices closes anywhere below here, that's when I'll be like, maybe we can come for a short-term sell. We can sell all the way down to here, and we can still then we'll wait for that bigger term buy, which is how many pips? 121 pips. Can still make money going to the downside, but the bigger trade is going to be to the upside. Yeah? So let me go back to 1 hour now. There we go. Here's the 1 hour chart. Beautiful. As you guys can see, let me just clean this out. Okay. So let's focus on what's more likely to happen. So you can simply see we've got our first touches here, second touches here. So basically, even if price does push to the downside, and it can push to the downside, remember we're not market makers. It's not like we know that the market is gonna rally all the way to the upside. It can push to the downside, but if it does push, we've got this area as being our first support areas, because depends on also how it goes, because it can just literally shoot down, retest this double bottom, first peak, second, boom, go to the upside, and then maybe a W, as most people would know that it's a W, others would know M's and so on, then push to the upside. But even if this doesn't happen, price can just correct all the way to the downside, and then boom, we have a beautiful pattern all the way back to the upside. And this is also most likely to happen. These are the scenarios that we need to be on the lookout for. But what would it take for us to buy? Already on the 1 hour, you can see this area is a resistant area. This is our beautiful resistant area. So, okay. So one thing that I would say is that maybe if price does happen to, if let's say it doesn't come all the way down to here as we did speak, and it happens to commit and go to the upside. Once price does happen to remember, if support breaks or if resistance breaks, it means that it's previous resistance turning into support. It means that now it's support, you can buy, you are safe to buy. So if maybe a candlestick closes with the bullish engulfing somewhere above these areas, then I would be excited to take a buy trade, maybe around, depends on how it closes, maybe around here. Stop loss just below, because these are the lows, and if it does come, this will be the higher lows, and then if it breaks, it will be higher highs. So I'll just put my stop loss in below here, 17 pips, super safe. Then obviously let's see the percentages. Boom, 3.18 there, 3.18, which is safe. And we'll just continue seeing, we'll continue managing it, because even if it does, like one of the beautiful things that can happen is if it does break, then it comes back with the retest, and you can see a wick that's retesting. Then when it does close to the upside, then you buy maybe around these areas still, you buy maybe after that candle. I like these methods because it actually helps me increase my risk compared to rewards. I'm sure you guys saw that recently I've been having stop losses of stop losses of like what, 7 pips, 6 pips and so on. It's because of I'm just allowing this to happen. Like once it does break, comes back to retest, such as like on the DEX market. When it does retest, I'll put my stop loss, instead of me putting it here, I'll place it literally here, and same thing, and I'll be here and I'll be managing it just so it pushes up. Once it does go up, maybe I'll have this as my management line. Once it does break these areas, then I know for sure that I can move to break even, because if it does come, it should treat this area as support, then it should continue going up. So what was supposed to be a 3% can easily turn into 8%. Yeah? So those are the types of scenarios that we're actually seeing on the DEX market. So anywhere between these structures is still a bit more risky for you to buy or sell. Anywhere between here, it's a bit more risky for you to buy or sell. But once it does break out of here, then you know for sure that you can take that buyer's move to the upside. Yeah. So we need to be a bit more on the lookout for that. Let us take a look at, okay, it's not in order, got my list down here. So Nasdaq, okay, is it this? There we go. Okay, there we go. Yo, my mouse just ran out of battery, so I guess I'll use this laptop for now. Okay, so I'm looking at the Nasdaq markets. Super simple for us to understand. Let's go back onto the 4-hour chart. Keeping it a bit more simple with this, just by understanding the momentum, just by also seeing what the USD, the dollar index market is saying, we can obviously make forecasting. We can start forecasting different types of scenarios. So with the Nasdaq market, I believe that we did reach our structures lows, because let's see what's happening on the daily. Okay, let's see what's happening on the daily, but I can see already on the 4-hour we did reach our structure lows. On the daily, you can simply see what I had here. Beautiful push to the upside there. So we've had this first touch, second touch, third touches. Price when it did get here, it just tried to play a bit more. But you can see normally what we'd be waiting for is a strong breakout, but it didn't give us that strong breakout. It did break out, it rejected. This candle that followed was actually a low momentum. Then the next candle, then the next one also, like this next one, this bearish one was a bit more impulsive. But go see what actually happened afterwards. This bullish one is the one that changed everything for us. So once we do get another one, then it would have confirmed our our double bottom. I'll show you guys where I'm seeing it. And then obviously we're trying to push all the way to the upside. But obviously, buyers wanted to let price push a bit more to the downside, so they can be able to let price get a bit more cheaper. The stocks can be a bit more cheaper, just so when they do get back into investing, they can buy at the low, at the highest low, at the highest low. That is why we call them higher lows and higher highs. So that's what we're seeing on daily. Let's go back onto the 4-hour chart. I'm not too comfortable with buying these markets. I'm just comfortable with selling. I'm not too comfortable with selling. I'm comfortable with only buying the markets. So you can see on the 4-hour chart, if I do have this, price did get, around these areas, give us beautiful double bottom. You can see first, second. So there's a high chance of us trying to see price, pushing a bit more back to the upside. But I'll show you guys what will make us buy on these markets, and obviously take a look at how price moved now. So yes, we did push down, but after we did push down impulsively with this candle, we started pushing downwards in a corrective manner. Yeah, started pushing downwards in a corrective manner. And while we were pushing down, it actually gave us this beautiful pattern here, descending type pattern. And yes, it didn't give us the third touch, on which it doesn't happen all the time, doesn't come give us the third touch. But what it done actually is that it gave us this beautiful double bottom structure, which is also a valid thing. Né? It's also a valid thing. You do know that we do trade these. Okay, let's see the 1 hour. Okay, here we go on the 1 hour chart. Okay, on the 1 hour chart, obviously it's still the same thing that we saw from the 4 hour structure. But now we're actually focusing a bit more on what's happening within the structure compared to what's happening on the outer structure. Né? So here you can simply see that I do have this, but this one here I drew it on the 15 minutes. So let me just do this real quick just so it's valid on the 15 minute. I like drawing my significant areas on the 15 minutes. There we go. But still, this area here, double bottom, let me make sure that it doesn't appear on the 15 minute. There we go. This area here, double bottom. Obviously lower low, lower high, lower low. So now if price just happened to break above these areas here, because it did create some sort of support, and then it did support here, it went up, it broke out impulsively, and then it came back. As now it's actually it's around these areas. So if it does get to break it to the upside, then obviously it means that you can just wait for a retest, then we buy the markets all the way to the upside. Because I'm not too sure if just by buying when it does break, if you are going to be getting a good risk compared to rewards. Né? And also I've got a beautiful line. I'll show you guys on the 15 minutes, treat on the 15 minutes. It's actually here to guide us. If it does happen to treat this area as resistance, it will guide us, and then we'll come back, get a double bottom that's within. Remember, we've got pattern within patterns, we've got double bottoms within double bottoms. So maybe come back, treat this area as another double bottom here within structure. Then we'll get a beautiful, nice buy setup all the way to the upside, on which this one is going to be a much more better risk compared to rewards. Okay, so Secret is saying that I think let's go break out the descending pattern and print another retesting point and come back down. But let's see what price does. They perfect. Yeah, we just have to allow price to guide us. But what you're saying is actually it makes perfect sense. Something that we should also follow. Should treat having that on the back of our heads. Okay, so you can see I drew that support area somewhere here, significant zones. So I was looking to get some buy setups here. Yes, we did get a buy move, but I wasn't comfortable taking a buy trade on it, because yes, this candle was a beautiful undecided candle. So I was looking for an engulfing candle that followed, but it didn't follow with one. It only gave us one here, and when it did give us one, the risk compared to what was a bit more messed up. It was a bit more messed because we are close to the resistance now. So remember, the best thing that you should be doing is that you should be looking at, let's say this is our next resistance zone. So if it happens that it breaks out of this structure, you should be looking at what is your playing around zone should be between this area and also this area. This is your playing around zone. So whatever opportunities you get, you should be looking to make the most out of this. Your risk compared to reward, your stop loss shouldn't be all the way down to here. It should be anywhere close to here, because you can see higher high, higher low, higher high here, higher low, higher high, higher low. So if it does break higher high, if you buy here when it does break by higher high, then obviously your stop loss can be here, and then your targets can be here, something like this. Only when it has closed perfectly, you shouldn't be waiting for, you shouldn't be buying now saying that it's already gonna do what you're expecting. Only if it happens to close cleanly and so on. So when it does happen, once it does break here, maybe you place your buy stop. Then you put your stop loss somewhere around here, 792 pips, 79 compared to 79, and 2026 pips compared to 226 pips, on which it can take literally a few minutes to hit that, not even more than a day. Then obviously you bank to 2.8 percentages. Depends on how you caught it, because if it happens that let's say you wait for let's say a move such as this. Let me show you guys here real quick. This breakout candle, boom. Let's say this breakout candle, all the way from here. So you can simply see that yes, it does break out and then it comes back to retest, which is why I like to get my entries. So let's say if you do get to, it pushes up, it broke out, instead of you buying here where it has broke out, you can easily just wait for price to retest, then you buy at the retest, believing that when you do get it here, you'd be able to have a smaller stop loss. Stop loss would be anywhere close to here, because you're saying that price shouldn't go anywhere below these structures, then your targets will still be here. Then the same thing which is now 4.7%, or you can easily play around those areas too, but you wait for price to confirm. Let's see if it does, play a bit more around those structures, then you wait for price to actually, maybe it prints a beautiful young pattern on the 15 minutes. That's why you'd get beautiful risk compared to rewards, young beautiful pattern. Then when it does break, you have your buy stop already, you have your stop loss just below here, and target is still these areas, which is 3.06 percentages. Target is still within these areas, and you can see price can easily go all the way up to hit targets without within a day, because it didn't take more than a day for this to happen. So within a day, so it can go all the way to the upside. Even though this wasn't a clean move to the upside, it actually was a correction to the upside. So if it does happen to impulse, there's impulsive moves such as this to the upside, then it can literally take less than 3 hours. Okay, so Nasdaq, it's looking beautiful for a buy setup. 2 scenarios that we should be looking out for is actually breakout, retest the buy, and then go up with it, or just by having, which is going to be a bit more, it's not going to be too well because you might be involved in a drawdown for a few minutes, but if you just place your buy stop here, stop loss just a bit, find out that you're also limiting yourself compared to what you can be getting or what you can be making from Nasdaq too. But remember, this is our target. I say that these are the areas that we can be looking, these are the ranges that when you'd like to make profits within a day. Let's say when you are day trading, if you have enough time to manage charts and so on, recently, fortunately I was able to push some of the things that would allow me to have enough time to focus too much on the markets, because when you're trying to push other businesses and raise businesses from the scratch, it takes a lot of your time. But when it gets to a point that those businesses are now running on their own, then you have all the time for you to focus on the charts. So that's what I've been doing. I've been focusing too much time on the charts, literally going offline. I can be offline, or on offline all of my social media platforms anyway, and then just manage my trades, and do all these things, because now I've got the time to focus too much on the market. So I want to invest a lot, as much as I can, because that's a skill that nobody can take from me. So ranges are ranges that you can that within a day there's actually what's going to happen, what's more likely to happen, hitting target till here. Obviously we know that we're going all the way to the upside with Nasdaq. Now you saw our target highs and so on, but would you rather take a trade, make 4% going here, go out, wait for it to correct, wait for it to create a higher low, buy again, go all the way to the upside, or would you rather just hold all the way to the upside? Yes, you can do two things. You can hold, you can also take that intra-day movement, but the most important thing is to make money with every move that you're making. So you just have to be smart with it. So if you're holding, you can have an account that you can hold, that you can swing your trades, but if you'd like to capitalize some of these pips, then you can still do that. So you do know that you didn't go from making maybe you bought your and here when it say you're making $1,000, then when it's making $1,000 here, it retraces a bit, treats this areas as, let's say, treats this areas as now support. Then now you gave back close to $600, you're floating $400, and you could have easily closed your $1,000 when it treats as support. You buy again, then go all the way to the upside, hoping to make more, and you've got $1,000 that you've already made from Nasdaq. Yeah. So let us see the next one. We did kill Nasdaq. Let's see our next pair, which is Germany 30. There we go. There we go. Okay. So with the decks, guys, super simple. This one, I like the fact that with this one I don't have to think too much. It's one of those pairs that make me think like the most simplest scenarios. Unlike other pairs that need you to dive in a bit more deep with your skills and so on. Dex is just like super simple. Once you understand it, then you know that even if you just draw some area of resistance, area of support, you can easily make a setup from that, and I can easily close $1,000 within a few hours from just support and just literally like having a resistance zone. So obviously we've got this major area being our overall targets right here. As you can see, this is where DEX was at its highest. Okay, obviously if we do happen to push this line all the way forward, then you'd simply see that we've got our first touch, second touch, believing that we're coming here for a third touch, believing that we are coming here for a third touch. So with this one here, we know that we are going to the upside. So not saying that this is where once we do get here, we can sell all the way to the downside, even though the type of strategy that we do trade, it says that when you do get here, we sell. But when you get here, you can take profits. Yes, you can take some percentages of your profits. But the most important thing is to see how it gets here, because it can get here impulsively and break these areas, come back higher, low, just like what Nasdaq was doing a few weeks ago, creating highs each and every day. So that's something that we should be on the lookout for. So we know our overall targets is here for DEX. Okay, there we go. Okay, so what I have here on the 1 hour too, I'm leaving the outer structure, is that I'm looking at the fact that we price went to the upside, higher low, higher high, higher low, anywhere close to here. So believing the price has to go all the way to the upside, create new highs. So far I would like to take my first profits anywhere close to here, this area, and then I'll see what it does when moving forward. Take my profits here at this rejected area. Then once it does get here, I'll just see if I'll just maybe take a few percentages of my profits, or I'll just close my trades completely, and then I'll wait to see, because between this area and this area, it's actually not a good move to be trading at. Between this area and this area, it's not a good move to be trading at. So once it does get here, I take profits, maybe take half percentages and so on. Then I lock some of my profits here, and then I'll see if it does continue. Once it does treat these areas as support, if it happens to treat these areas as support, perfect. I can still take this trade on the 15 minutes, because it'll allow me to have a very small stop loss. Depends on how I catch it, but on the 15 minutes, obviously you will see how we'll be able to get it. Then I'll get a beautiful trade. Then hopefully, like this one here is the one we can obviously maybe hold all the way to the upside, because once we break these areas, then we are gone. Obviously when you do break, you come back as support, then go back to the upside. But once we break these areas, then we are gone. Then you can see that we can turn a simple trade into a 21 percentages. So far with this one here, I'm seeing that price can easily come once more to the downside. Yeah, giving us third touches, 1, 2, third touch here, and not only that, also treating these areas as support, because you can see 1, 2, third touch here, then going back to the upside. And also I like the fact that take a look at what did happen here. We went from pushing to the upside. Okay, sorry, we went from pushing to the upside to coming back with the beautiful pattern, and then obviously the next move that we're expecting is back to the upside. It's actually a continuation pattern. Okay, so let's see in the 15 minutes how we can capitalize on it. .15 there we go. So far you can see that these areas have been rejected, and I can see that we are also getting another rejection here, and also a candlestick, a bearish candlestick. Because remember guys, bearish, these candlesticks, like just like strategy is just you understanding candlesticks. So if you can read candlesticks, you can easily make a strategy. Any strategy you can make just by reading candlesticks. So you can see the rejected way it has rejected recently, not months ago, just recently, same day even. So it rejected this area, it came back, rejected again, bearish candle. So price can come back maybe around these areas, give us a double bottom, and also maybe treat these areas as our buy zone, and also first touch, second touch, third touches here. So when you do get here, we can easily buy the DEX market, and obviously our stops can just be super simple. Let's say once we do get here, obviously we're not wanting price to break below these structure lows, higher lows. No, we don't want price to break below here. So we'll be waiting for a candlestick that will confirm with us. So engulfing candle, rejection, anything, I'll be excited to take that, a bearish candle, and then I'll put my stop loss just below here. Then I'll see what it does when it gets here. Then I will see what it does. Not I'll take, but I'll just see what it does. But remember, I'll be taking profits when it gets here. This is our first targets, to be honest, guys. Because remember, we've got all evidence. First touch, second touch, third touch, it broke. We've got all these things that are supporting our movements through the upside, daily movement for our charts. And obviously we can easily turn that into a 13%. Remember, I said that the DAX market usually does allow us to get this much, so 13%. But once we do get here, I like the fact that it's actually going to go from giving us, like, it's one of those trades that can make you, with just a $200 account, it can easily make you, maybe $1,000, $1,500, with you risking like close to, just a few percentages, like literally risking $5 or $10 per trade, and it can make you so much, because already you're having a stop loss that's a bit more tight, that's a bit more fixed, and that's at an area that we are comfortable with. So also I can have just a management line here, so saying that if it does continue to, because you can even see it rejected once, it rejected twice, same thing it done here, once, twice. So I'm not looking to buy here. The only way I will buy if it doesn't come here, another scenario I nearly forgot to give you guys, is obviously got this as our structure highs. If price just happens to break above this, once it does close above here impulsively, obviously it will come back with just a rejection. That rejection is where I will be taking my entry, boom, and stop loss just below the rejection, depends on the candle that has been formed, and boom, 5.7%. And I like the fact that the last time I made, or what was it, like close to 5.8, 5.7 percentages in, I think it was 2 hours or something, in 2 hours, while I was still testing, the methods that I'm using to trade these indices, So I made this and normally it would take me, maybe 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, even a week to make, 5.7%. But I made that in like, less than, I think, 2 hours or so on. And I wasn't risking too much because, it just shot up in my direction. So it was amazing to see. Yeah. So that is DAX for you guys. Let us move on to the next one, which is gold. Okay, so now we are out of indices. Now we are on to currency pairs. We are on to commodities since we're looking at gold. Okay. Are you guys still here with me? Are you guys seeing the setups that I'm seeing here? Are you guys excited with what we're expecting to get from it? I want to see if the members are excited to be seeing the setups that we have so far. Still here, perfect, still here. Perfect. Again, is watching and learning. Try to hear that. Okay. So with gold, we've got two types of scenarios, two types of I'd say, we've got a buy setup, we've got a sell setup. Both of them are highly profitable. Don't think that they're not profitable. They are highly profitable, because you can simply see the GS. We did once break from this beautiful pattern here, and we still have 90% targets to reach. So what I'm seeing here would be a short-term setup to the upside. Yeah. But we do know that the dollar index is actually gonna rise. So if the dollar index does confirm our movement to the upside, take a look at what's happening. We've got USD. We've got this. So if our code currency, which is the dollar index, is rising, obviously it means that our base currency would be dropping there. So we saw the dollar index rising, so this can also play out. And also I like the fact that while seeing this, I like the fact that we did have this huge impulse break to the downside. We did have this beautiful correction. We broke out impulsively, on which you still have 90% targets to reach, which is this level here, somewhere on these levels. So there's still more momentum to the downside. That's what I'm trying to say now. But I'll show you guys why I'm seeing two types of scenarios. Buy would be a short term, sell would be a long term. Boom. Okay. So why am I seeing two types of scenarios? So obviously we've got this beautiful pattern, broke out impulsively, corrected here, broke out, and now this whole move easily turned into a beautiful pattern there. Obviously impulse, beautiful pattern on which it's a beautiful pennant pattern, continuation pattern to the upside. And also take a look at the first, second double bottom structure. So the reason I'm also looking to buy is because of what I'm seeing on the 1 hour time frame there. But we have two types of scenarios here. We can buy and we can also sell. Why am I saying that? Because once we do get to break below these structures, on which there's actually a chart that I had before. If you just extend this line to here, take a look at this. This is just easily, pushed to the downside. Obviously, price came, it broke impulsively, and now it's correcting. Ne? So if it does happen to, close below this buy area zone, then it means that, we can easily just continue selling, and our targets are going to be all the way down to here. Ne? This is where our targets are going to be all the way down to here. But even if that doesn't happen, then it's cool. We have different types of scenarios. So let me show you guys why I'm also seeing a buy setup. Let me remove this real quick. 15 minutes. We're back on it, and I know that you did get to receive as much valuable information as you could have got from this video. Obviously, you had a pen close to you, had a piece of paper close to you, and it means that you are, instead of just watching these videos, you are actually doing what the purpose of this video is. You are learning from it. So I'm excited that you are a part of that whole the people that I'm able to positively impact. And I'm glad that you also were able to watch up until this very end. Just make sure that you are also in the Telegram public channel. If you're not, that's where I do get to update some of my daily updates of what's going on, what's not going on, what am I seeing, what am I not seeing, and so on. So you can be a part of that. And I will see you in the Telegram public group. Just make sure that the link is down below. And also the 0 to 6 figure course is still out there running perfectly. If you're not a part of it, you can still become a part of it. I'll leave the link down there too. I'll see you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure that you like, make sure that you subscribe, make sure that you do everything. See you.